This is Real Republican News, and I'm your host, Jason Mariner. The flag on my breast is now right side up, and I said I wasn't going to turn it right side up until this country was right again. But you know what I thought? I'm going to turn it right side up because this is going to be the day that we, the people, you and I, Americans, start acting like Americans again and start following the proper procedure to make sure that America stays intact. Because it is, after all, up to us. If you've ever read the Constitution or know anything about the way our founding fathers did things and the documents that they wrote, you would know very quickly that when things get out of control with the government, it's the people's job to implement change among that government or to create a new one entirely. So I say let today be the day that we become Americans again, get back to work, and start enforcing change in this country. Now, let's talk about yesterday. I said that we were going to absolutely hope for the best for President Biden. And I still hope for the best for President Biden. Because if an American president is doing well, the American people are doing well. But it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen, as evidenced by the 17 executive orders he signed yesterday, his first day in the Oval Office behind the Resolute desk as he was slouching. We were looking at the top of his head, listening to him mumble through a thick black mask, and we could barely see his face. Not exactly an example of American power, pride, whatever you want to call it. I mean, this guy has absolutely no charisma or energy whatsoever. It just looks like he's ready for a nap all the time. And he probably is. But one of those executive orders that he signed was that we halt building the XL Keystone Pipeline. That eliminated right there 11,000 jobs. The next executive order was we stop building the border wall. That's another 10,000 jobs. But there's another 30 or 40,000 jobs hanging in the balance because there were things like materials that need to be manufactured for the pipeline, steel mainly. There were things that needed to be manufactured to build the border wall. There was logistical support needed. Entire industries cropped up because of the XL Keystone Pipeline and the border wall construction. So, after President Biden's first day in office, 50,000 Americans will wake up with no jobs. That's after living through the past year of financial destitution, not knowing how we're going to pay our rent, mortgage, keep the lights on, feed our children. We don't know if we can go to school, go to work. We don't know what's going on. We don't know how long they're going to want us to wear masks for. We don't know what is going on so many levels. There is no transparency anymore. The American people are basically shut out and told what to do. That's not the way America's supposed to work. If you ever learned anything about U.S. government and the history of this country, you'd know that this is a government by the people, for the people, not the other way around. It's not by them, for them. We don't serve them. They serve us. And they're not serving us. Now, there are good politicians out there that want to and are willing and ready to help. I've been talking to them for the past month. In fact, one of those politicians, whether you like him or not, his name is Senator Marco Rubio. And he stood shoulder to shoulder with me 3 years ago when one of my business Facebook pages was arbitrarily shut down. I had to file legal action, but he came along as a politician helping a regular citizen that really had nothing to do at the time with politics. That's called a good politician. That's called a politician that serves the people. Congressman Brian Mast is another one. Whether you like him or not, he is a guy that is willing to help his constituents. Governor DeSantis is another one. He cares about Floridians. If you live in Florida, you know how good we have it if you've seen how things are going in other parts of the country. So, what we are going to do is do things the way our founding fathers did. That petition is in the process of being written, and it's being written the right way, the legal way. And that petition says that we, the people, the silent majority, 150 million of us, have been silenced and suppressed, and that our politicians and lawmakers have allowed it to happen by dropping the ball and failing to regulate monopolies like Facebook, Twitter, Amazon. I could go on, but I won't because I don't want this to be boring. The point is the lawmakers and politicians have let this happen to us when they shouldn't have. Now, our First Amendment right ensures us that we get to say what we want as long as it's not hurting anyone. It also ensures us that we have the right to form a petition, circulate it, and have our government take a look at it. That's exactly what we're going to do, which is why today is the day that you and I get to work. We the people get off the couch and start taking action steps towards righting this ship. Because if we don't, it will never sail straight again. We will probably not have a place called the United States of America in 10 years. And if we do, it will be the totalitarian states of America, because we will have no rights as a whole left. It will be the elite on top and us peasants on the bottom, and they will have ultimate dominion over our lives. It's not something I want. It's not something that I'm going to allow happen, and I certainly won't stand by silently and watch it occur. So, I remain committed. We will have the petition available for you shortly. You'll be able to read it, review it, and you'll be able to sign it. And when the day comes to pass that we get that silent majority to sign it, or most of the silent majority, hopefully, we bring it to Washington. We're going to do this as quickly as we can because change needs to happen fast. Otherwise, we are doomed. So, again, we're going to start in order, just like our founding fathers did. We're going to tackle the theft of our freedom of speech, and then we will move up the ladder as we deem appropriate. But it's time for citizens to start taking this country back. It's our duty. It's what our founding fathers told us to do if things went this way, and it looks like that's the way things are going. Look at the first day this guy has in office. 50,000 jobs taken away just like that. Here's another really scary prospect. Taking away that pipeline is going to reduce our capability to be energy independent. They say they want to do that because it's ruining the environment, right? Well, someone's going to pick up the slack in that fossil fuel production and in that natural gas production, and it's going to be the Middle East. Then we're going to be relying upon the Middle East for our gas and natural gas and oil and fossil fuels. And I heard somewhere that the Middle East doesn't necessarily like Western civilization so much. So that might be a little bit of a bad idea. The other thing is, with the steel production thing and eliminating the pipeline, you know where steel production is going, don't you? China Joe is sending it to China. Yes, you got it right. I don't know why on earth, after the past year that we have lived through, anybody in America would think it's a good idea to make it so we are less dependent upon ourselves. It became very clear to us during the spring when we were shut down and locked down that we need to start doing things here and making things here and being self-reliant because we can't count on other countries. Don't you remember that? It wasn't that long ago that that happened. Now we're going to just let them start shipping jobs and industries back overseas? Absolutely ridiculous. This is the America Comes Last regime that has taken office. It's the we don't give a damn about the American people's well-being regime. This is the shut up and do what we say regime. This is the unconstitutional regime. This is the regime that will precipitate the American people saying enough's enough, we've had it. We are going to enforce change in this country. We are going to have our grievances heard, and it starts here. We're writing it up. We want you to sign it. But it's going to take work. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take you talking to your friends about it. You're going to have to print this thing out. You're going to have to direct people to the website so they can digitally sign it. We're going to have to do a lot of things, and we're going to have to work together as a people. But you know what? We've done it before as a country. We've done it very recently as a country. Look how well we did after 9/11. There doesn't need to be any sort of catastrophe occurring for us to be that way again. All that we need to remember is that when all is said and done, that no matter what, we are Americans. We can disagree all we'd like, but at the end we should really shake hands and still be friends. That's the way it needs to be. I'm not going to shut up until it gets that way again. And the only way that that's going to be that way is if every single American is guaranteed the right to free speech and the rest of their constitutional rights. That's the only way. Once tyrants start taking rights away from you, they don't just take one, they take them all. I'm not saying they take them all at once, but once they take one, the rest will follow. So let's get to work. Let's get busy. we will let you know as soon as that petition is up on the website, and I want to see signatures there. I want to make it so they can't take away free speech rights from anyone, even if it's the person that we don't agree with. We got to fight for their rights too. That's what America is about. America doesn't need unity right now. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Unity is a good thing, but America is not about unity. America is about the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. Okay? That's what the Constitution is there for. It's not for unity. Okay? We can still have a good country with people that get along without unity. We don't all have to believe the same thing. America needs to get over this identity politics thing and say, you know what? You have one set of beliefs. I have another set of beliefs. But you know what? We're still friends because it doesn't really matter that much. That's the place we need to get back to. Forget about unity. We just need to be able to agree to disagree peacefully and still remain friends. And we certainly need the right to be able to say what we want to say no matter what political orientation we may be. So, like I've said, I am not shutting up. I am not being censored into oblivion. I will not stop until every American has their right to speak freely restored. My name is Jason Mariner. I'm the host here at Real Republican News, and I promise I will be the biggest pain in the ass that big tech and the news has ever seen, because we will not stop again until you have your rights.